Hello, this is Mr. Collier, and today we're doing currency conversions. Alright, so the first example here, conversion table. We see that 1 US dollar is 1.633 Australian dollars, and then we have Great British pounds, we have yen, and we have euro here. So we want to convert 50 US dollars to Japanese yen. Alright, so to do that, we could now, 1 US dollar is about 139 yen. So we could multiply by 50, but what works every single time will be to set up a proportion. So I'm going to do it that way as well. So $50 US is equal to, now we don't know the number of Japanese yen that's equal to, so we'll call that X. And then we'll say equal to 1 US dollar per 139.49 yen. Okay, so we set up a proportion. We can always solve that by cross multiplying, and we have x times 1, or just x, equals 50 times 139.49. Okay, so if I do that, I will do that on the calculator now. And that's going to be 50 times 139.49. And that's 6,974.5. 6,974.5 yen. Okay, next 15 Great British pounds to 1 US dollar. So we have a separate proportion, 1 US dollar to the ratio of 1 US dollar to 0.61 Great British pounds should be equal to the ratio of X US dollars to 15 Great British pounds. Okay, so that these ratios are always going to be equal. We can use that proportion to solve our equation and find the number of US dollars. So I'm going to cross multiply. We're going to have, let me do that up here. We're going to have x times 0.61 equals 15. So then you do divide by 0.61, divide by 0.61. X equals, and we're going to get 15 divided by 0.61. 15 divided by 0.61 equals 24.59. So that's $24.59. Okay, next couple here. Okay, we have 1,500 Australian dollars. Okay, so you want to convert that to euro. So 1,500 Australian dollars to X euro is going to be equal to, well, here we have 1.633 Australian dollars is equal to 0.787 euro. Then we can cross multiply. So we'll have, when we cross multiply, we'll have x times 1.633 equals 1,500 times 0.787. Then we can divide both sides by 1.633. And, oops. So x equals, and we'll do this calculation. 1,500 times 0.787 divided by 1.633. Okay, that gives me $722.90. $722.90. So that's euro. Sorry, that's euro. Okay, next 125 yen to Great British pounds. So 125 yen to X Great Britain pounds, and equals, if we look at our chart, we have 139.49 yen is equal to 0.61 Great Britain pounds. Okay, so we cross multiply, and we get x times 139.49 equals 0.61 times 125. So I'll divide by 139.49, and I get 0.61 times 125 divided by 139.49. That gives me 0.55 Great British pounds, so about 0.55 Great Britain pounds. Okay, next example. So 1 Canadian dollar is equivalent to 4.092 French francs. Convert 138 Canadian dollars to francs. So 1 Canadian dollar is the same as 4.092 French francs, so I'll call it FF. And we want to convert 138 Canadian dollars to X French francs. So we cross multiply here, we'll get X equals 4.092 times 138. Okay, so let's work that out. 4.092 times 138 is 564.70. 564.70 French francs. Alright, next, 1 US dollar is equivalent to, so I'm going to write that right away, 1 US is equivalent to 1740 Italian lire. Alright, so we have 54,329, and we want to convert that to X US dollars. So I cross multiply, I'll get 1740 X equals 54,329, and I'll divide, and I'll work it out on the calculator. 54,329 divided by 1740, and we get 31.22. So it's about 31.22 US. Okay, in the next example, we're going to find the values of P and Q here. So the value of P is the number of US dollars in 1 French franc. Okay, so to do that, we're going to look at this column here. So in this column, you can see that 1 US dollar is equal to 6.289 French francs. So we use that as a separate proportion. So P US dollars equals 1 French franc. Okay, then we can cross multiply, and we'll get that P times 6.289 equals 1, so P equals 1 out of 6.289. Divided by 6.289 is equal to 0.15. So we're going to go to 3 stepping figures, 0.159. So this is approximately 0.159. Okay, next we're going to find Q. So I'm going to do that over here. So Q is the number of Japanese yen in 1 French franc. So if we look at here, we have in 1 Japanese yen, we have 0.057 French francs. So 1 Japanese yen and 0.057 francs should be equal to Q Japanese yen to 1 French franc. Alright, so we cross multiply, we get Q times 0.057 equals 1, and we'll get Q equals 1 out of 0.057. Okay, so let's do that. So 1 divided by 0.057, and we get 17.54. Let's go three decimal digits. 17.544. 17.544. Okay, next, Muriel wants to change her money back at a bank in London. How many French francs will she have to change to receive 140 Great British pounds? Okay. So if we take a look at it, we can look over here. 1 French franc is 0.101 Great British pounds. So we can use that proportion. So 1 French franc is the same as 0.101 Great British pounds. And we want to know how many francs there are, so that's X. Will she need to get 140 Great Britain pounds? Okay, so if we set this up, we're going to have X times 0.101 equals 1 times 140, or just 140. So I divide by 0.101, divide by 0.101, we get X equals 140 out of 0.101. Okay, so let's try that. 140 divided by 0.101 is 1386.14. 1386.14 French francs. Okay, bank charges 2.4% commission on all transactions. If she makes this transaction, how many British pounds will Muriel actually receive from the bank? So she'll actually lose 2.4%. So we just need to do 1386.14 times 0.024. So that'll give the amount that she loses, right? So we can actually do 1386.14 minus this amount, because this is the amount that she'll lose to commission. Alright, another way to do that, alternatively, okay, so to do that in one step, we could take the 1386.14 and multiply it by 100% minus 2.4%. Okay, so that's going to be 1386.14 times 97.6%, or 1386.14 times 0.976. Okay, so I'm going to do that now. So you got the number already in my calculator, so I'm going to go times 0.976. And we get this amount. 1352.87. 1352.87 is our answer.